When I was a college student, I lived in an old apartment. It was a small studio. I paid about $200 a month for it. I was kind of lucky to get a room for such a cheap price downtown. I enjoyed my independent life and was satisfied with most things there. Until the owner of the building disappeared suddenly. Without him, the old apartment was not managed like before. It was so spooky, like ghosts were living there or something. Because of the internship at this film company, I took a year off from school. I worked as a film crew staff member, so I always came back home very late. There was no elevator. Each time I walked to my room on the third floor, I got shivers down my spine for no actual reason. Since the apartment was close to the subway, the neighborhood was full of adult places like clubs and bars. Tons of crime there. It was kind of a crime-ridden area, so I always felt a little tense. One night, I tried to come home. I was so exhausted. I found a food waste bag that was open in front of my door. The garbage disposal system of the apartment was broken, so we had to put the waste bag in front of the door. Then the manager took it away. But due to the absence of the manager, the disposal was delayed for a day, or sometimes even more. When the place was full of garbage, it was cleaned. Then sometimes street dogs or cats got in there and messed up the bags, so I ignored the open garbage bag. But I felt weird anyway. Also, it started to stink real bad. I cleaned it and went inside. The old door didn't even have a peephole. So, if anyone knocked, I had to open and check to see who it was. My manager was missing. I was planning on moving out soon, so I didn't want to spend extra money for a safeguard on the door. The building was an absolute mess. It had no control. I could often hear someone yelling out and running down the hall in the middle of the night. And also I had to be patient when the pranksters started knocking. Well, I almost opened the door and complained about it, but I couldn't. And none of my neighbors actually did that. It was the crime-ridden area, and nobody wanted to go face-to-face with a psycho stranger in the middle of the night. It was a nasty idea to open the door with no safeguard. Someone called the police, and when they came, the freaky prank stopped for a while. But it never really stopped. It happened every single day. When coming home became so intolerably stressful, it happened. Same as the other nights, I was heading home late. When I walked up the stairs and was about to turn a corner, I heard something rustling. I almost screamed as soon as I saw it. A stranger, might be homeless, messed up the garbage bag. And ate the food waste there. I hid myself before he noticed. Who's that guy? Why is he eating food waste? The dirty, disgusting, stinky, nasty. I hesitated for a second. What should I do? Should I go home? Or call the police? I don't want to screw it up. People become offensive if their dirty secret is discovered. Also, the man could attack me if he finds out I saw his disgraceful menu. I decided to wait for him until he finishes his meal. But after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, he was still eating. My fatigue started to turn into anger. It's kinda ironic. I was so exhausted by working with these stupid people at my job. And again, here I am waiting for this idiot to finish his disgusting meal. I decided to head to my room. I was making noisy steps so he can know that I was getting close, and wish he would run away when he heard me. But he didn't notice anything, just focused on eating his meal. When I almost got to the door, he sensed me standing there. I pretended it was nothing and stared at him. He also looked at me for a while, then stood up and walked down the hall going the opposite direction. He went in the next door. The guy was not homeless. He was my neighbor. I freaked out. It was my neighbor eating food waste and messing up the garbage bags. I wanted to leave the apartment as soon as possible. Immediately after I closed the door, he started screaming out in some unknown language. He kept knocking on my door. I'm still not sure if it was the same guy who ate the food waste. I called the police right away, but the officer said there was nobody living next door. It was pretty traumatic, and I suffered from it until I left this place. Whenever there was a knock on the door, I opened it with a hand holding a knife behind my back. Since then, a long time has passed. But when someone knocks on the door instead of ringing the doorbell, I think about what happened. The creepy building psycho resident who ate my garbage.